down, and crazy people potentially coming in to check out what the Heat's 316 is all about. Great PR move, but not only that, it shows that Miami is ready, focused on their objective, and that is to win a championship ring. Next up, Miss Hattie.
Well, you heard from all the rest, now you hear from the best. It's me, it's Hattie Lemon. You know my sport. We're going to talk about football. It was the opening season for the NFL Sunday games. I like to call this season the quarterback sneak. Well, we had a couple quarterbacks that snuck in there on them. Let's start with Michael Vick and Kevin Kolb. Kevin is the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, at least he was the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Last week, Kevin got in, and I tell you, he got knocked out a few times until finally they realized Kevin can't come back in. Kevin got a concussion. Before the game started, Kevin was the starting quarterback. So Kevin would go in, he'd throw a couple, then they take him out. They like Michael go in, throw one, take him out, put Kevin back in. He throw 2 or 3, take him out. They was doing that through the whole game. Finally, Kevin got nailed. It was a couple of bad hits for him until he got a concussion. And you know the league changed the rules for concussions. Well, Kevin got a concussion. He had to go out. When they took Kevin out, Michael Vick had an opportunity to show that he really still had it. Michael Vick got in. Of course, you know he broke a record. He's one of the quarterbacks in the league that now has rushed over 4,000 yards. It's not likely for quarterbacks to rush for 4,000 yards. But he's a quarterback, and he went over the 4,000-yard mark. Once Michael got in and he got himself steady and in position, the Michael Vick of old, I thought for just a moment, was back. Michael really looked good. He got the ball moving. He scored a touchdown. He had one problem that I disagree with, and I felt like he was listening to what they say rather than being the Michael Vick of old. First, he was scrambling, rolling out, rushing for yards. That's how he got to 4,000. Looking like the Michael Vick of old. Philly fans was loving it, okay? They were ready to see that, which he didn't really have a chance to do at first because in for a minute, out for a minute, in for a minute, out for a play, in a play, out a play. Now that Kevin was gone, he got a chance to settle in and make it happen. But on one of the last plays, Michael Vick of old had an opportunity to run the ball in. Instead, Michael Vick of today elected to pass it, and it got dropped. So they didn't make it. They could have went. They could have won the game. They should have won that game. Michael should have ran that ball in, not pass it. Michael Vick of old is back. Let's see this week, who's going to start? Because I'm telling you, Michael looked very, very well. I don't know. Is Kevin coming back? Or is Michael going to start? And who knew that Donovan McNabb was going to come out as strong as he did? Washington right now is loving Donovan McNabb. He got traded this year from the Philadelphia Eagles to the Washington Redskins, and he came out really, really strong. I want to say good job. I think the fans are loving him. I think he's rejuvenated, coming out there, showing them that, hey, I'm not an old man. I haven't lost it yet. He did a great job. He came out strong. He threw. He passed. He ran. He looked really, really good. So kudos to Donovan McNabb.
Now it's time for our battlefield. This is where 2 of our ladies will duke it out to discuss and debate some of today's hot sports topics. Now on the battlefield, we have Carrie and Penny.
Ladies, are you ready for battle? Welcome to the battlefield. Our first topic today, should Reggie Bush have given up his Heisman Trophy?
Yes, he should have given up that Heisman Trophy because it's causing too much media.
No, Kareem, he should not have given up his trophy. Just leave it alone
in the past. He's a stand-up guy, and this is what a stand-up guy does. He's taking one for his former team. They already been severely punished.
If he was asked to give out this trophy, he should have been asked in 2005, not 2010.
I'm kind of going
if there was any sort of misconduct, the Heisman Committee should have figured this out in 2005, and he should never have been asked to forfeit this.
Still, 2005 stats still show he's a Heisman, with it or without it not.
Yeah, well, you know, that reminds me, right now, do you think college athletes should even be paid at this point? I think they definitely need to be paid, and then we could avoid this fiasco like Reggie Bush losing his Heisman. if the college players made a little bit of money, not to the degree of the pro players, if they made a little bit of money, they are dedicated to the sport, they deserve it, we wouldn't have these kinds of things
There's a thin
happening.
line between amateur and professionalism. That's what it's college before, to build them up, to get them prepared to be pro. These players are not ready. J.J. Redick making $31K.
They're ready to make some monetary gain, though. There was a college student just recently who sold his jersey last year, after last year's season, and then all of a sudden...
All right, let's stop it, ladies. I know it's getting rough around here, but you know, I have my final question. Do you think all this Reggie Bush controversy is actually going to affect the Saints as they play on the field? How's their morale going to be?
No, it's same. That's why I said there's a difference between amateur and professionalism. There you go. He's left all the media attention behind, and now he's moved forward, and this is what pros do.
And I disagree.
And get on.
I totally disagree. With so much media coverage, there is no way that the Saints team is not affected by all of this attention that Reggie Bush is giving. And I know he's a professional, but there's more than one person on that team.
And
Reggie
they all
Bush is
support
not
him.
the only person
Read
on
the
that
media,
team.
read the news.
They're all
Saints support
affected.
him. There's no
They're
problem.
all affected.
Okay, ladies, put the gloves down right now. I want to thank you for joining Ladies in the Locker Room on the battlefield. Please email us at ladiesinTheLockerroom@gmail.com and tell us who you're voting for. Did Carrie win the battle, which I think, you know, she did pretty well, or did Penny win the battle? You can also submit some more battlefield questions. Thank you so much.
Hey, no te vayas. That means don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Ladies, it's time for some Monday night football action. This week on Monday night, we've got the San Francisco 49ers and the New Orleans Saints. Ladies, what are your picks? We're going to start with you, Penny.
Well, I think that the 49ers are going to pull through. I think Alex Smith as quarterback is going to win this one for the team. And the reason I think that, I think the Saints are going to be distracted with Reggie Bush and all the media about forfeiting his Heisman Trophy. And I do think they're going to be a bit distracted. On an average day, I might go with the Saints. But this week, I'm going with the 49ers.
I want to say something about that before we move forward. I do want to say, and I didn't have a chance to mention it early, I don't think he should have given the Heisman Trophy back. I think this is 5 years later. Slap him on the hand, make sure it never happens again. But now, I think that was ridiculous for them to take that Heisman Trophy back, because now they're like, do we give it to Vince Young? And do we insult him by giving him a used Heisman Trophy, or do we just let it go in somebody's closet and be lost in Never Never Land? So I want to say out there to the Heisman Committee, give the trophy back to Reggie Bush. Yeah. Make it that it doesn't happen again. He won it. You gave it to him. He won it. You gave it to him. Let's face it. These guys go to college. They can't do anything but play football and do their homework. So if someone gave them a few extra gifts, okay, we don't want it to happen.
If there was misconduct on his part, there was also misconduct
on the part
the Heisman
of
Committee as well.
Somebody.
Not
That's
finding
right.
it out in the year that he was given.
The year he was given it. So 5 years later, I'd like to say, give it back now. He gave it up. Now you give it back and let it go. All right, now we can move back on to the Monday night game. All right, next up, we're going to hear from Kristen.
Thank you so much, Hattie. You know what? I am going to go with Penny this week, but for different reasons. I'm not sure that the Saints are super distracted this week off of Reggie Bush's drama. He's had a lot of drama going on with him and Kim Kardashian. But anyway, I think that they're really going to see, possibly some gelling together. The 49ers have some really big stars in their team. They've got Alex Smith. They've got Vernon Davis. They've got Takeo Spikes. They do have some really key players, some great guys. So I'm hoping that they're going to gel together this week and that, they're just going to be a surprise Cinderella team for the second week of the season, hoping that we're going to see any given Sunday occur. Everyone knows that they have to bring their A game and anything could happen. So we'll see, but I'm going to go with the 49ers.
All right, Myrene.
Yes, and I'm gonna say the 49ers, they're a really good team, but in this week I'm gonna have to go with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, their first game they look great, and they have their key. I feel that they have their key players of Jeremy Shockey and Jonathan Vilma. So they're gonna go out there and they're gonna do their thing, and I think they're gonna take the whole thing. Sorry, ladies.
I agree with Myrene. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. I don't think that the Reggie Bush dilemma is going to affect them at all. I think this is the beginning of the season. They're coming off of a Super Bowl win. The town is still riding on high. The team is still riding on high.
A lot of pressure now.
It is, but I think that's why they have to come out strong.
Exactly.
They know that this year they're the team to beat. They're the team that everybody's got to beat because they're the Super Bowl champions. They came out strong first game. They looked really good. I think that they're going to come out and they're going to beat the 49ers this week.
Yes.
Well, we have 2 49er wins and we have 2 New Orleans Saints wins. We'll see who wins next week. Thank you again for joining Ladies in the Locker Room, and we'll see you next week. Good night.